Hello and welcome to the Design Your Dream Home podcast with me, Brittany Johnson, your interior design expert. This is going to be just more of an update on our journey and home moving process. It's a little different than what I usually talk about. We're not exactly talking about interior design and construction at this moment, but it's also very much about figuring out how to live the life that you want to live. And that is all part of what we're doing with Design Your Dream Home. It's not just about your structure, it's about the life that you want to live and creating a home that supports that. So we are on our own personal journey to create a home that more supports the kind of life we want to live. So we are here in Washington officially. We have been here since right before Christmas, right before a big old snowstorm came in and snow and ice and cold, and we were stuck in our apartment for 2 weeks, me, my husband, and our 2 kids, with not even really the bare necessities. I thought we'd get here and then, hit Target, hit Marshall's, Home Goods, like all those kind of places where you just pick up all those household stuff that you need, and we could not do any of that. So I did make one trip in the ice. I probably shouldn't have, to get a TV, because that is one thing we realized about ourselves throughout this process is we like TV. I thought our tablets would be fine for a while, and we can all watch our own thing. We have Hulu, Netflix, all the stuff on the tablet, so what's the difference? Well, we really did miss having a gathering space, somewhere where we all land and watch something, and half the time we're on our own things anyway, but we really like that. And we really kind of felt homeless in our own apartment without it. Is that strange? Like, that's kind of strange, but I felt like we were all kind of looking for our place. We couldn't figure out where to go. Well, we didn't have a couch yet either. We still don't. It's not a love sack. I keep calling it that. It's a Fat Joe. No, it's a Big Joe. I did a lot of research on these big giant bean bags, and so all the companies are going in my mind, but we ended up going with a Big Joe, and we got that for the living room. So now we have a TV and a place to sit, which surprisingly was necessary. Like, we needed that. Sorry, I have my script here too. I'm coming at you live from my bedroom, which, I'm on a bed and I have a computer stand. So that's what I have. That's what we're working with. And, life keeps moving, and that's just the way it is. So here we are. What else we've learned a lot about ourselves throughout this move. There is no doubt about that. Getting anyone out of their comfort zone, you learn a lot about a person and yourself, and we could not be more out of our comfort zone. And so we're learning a lot about ourselves. So again, we learned we like TV. We also learned that we are noisy. Coming from a farm in Iowa, I know we're noisy, we like to be rambunctious and loud, and but I didn't really think about that in an apartment, and it has been made very clear from our downstairs neighbors that we are noisy. So looking back on my research, I should have picked a ground floor apartment. I was thinking more about like the security of a second floor, being able to leave our windows open and that sort of thing. But I should have been thinking about the fact that our kids are really busy and love to run around and jump around and make obstacle courses and whatever, and that's very loud. So that would have relieved a lot of stress from our lives right now if we would have been on the ground floor. Something, if we were staying here longer, I probably would look into changing, but we only have a 6-month lease, so we're just going to ride it out, and maybe we'll find a house in the meantime, and they will be happy to let us move out early. I don't know. We are, like, for real, just going on this life roller coaster and seeing what happens, and it's been awesome. Okay, we also learned that our kids are incredibly adaptable and have amazing trust in us. They have been our most supportive road dogs. I love road dogs. They're the people and dogs who are always up for an adventure, and just the kids are just crushing like challenge after challenge. They're going to new schools and new environments and new parks and new friends, and we're stressed, and they've just been handling it amazingly. People do not give their kids enough credit for how resourceful and adaptable they are. So my children are amazing. The amount that they have figured out about just the world in general and our new local world surprises me all the time, and I see them like getting excited about the change now and the new things, and the curiosity of this world around us, and they are just hungry for more. It has been super fun. I can't wait to explore more with them every day, everywhere, every whim, every curiosity. Like, it's very easy to explore right now because everything is new. So it's super awesome. The other day, Soren and I was bringing him home from daycare, and we always go by this road, and he always asked to go down it because we don't need to turn down that road, and it's a really big, normally, and it's a really big hill, and it's always very misty, so you cannot see, well, at least it had been, well, you know, during the storm and everything, so you couldn't see what was down there, so he always called it the mystery road, and it was just really driving him nuts. So the other day, we had time, because why not? We thought, let's drive down the road. It turns out it is a really big nature park, which is awesome, just around the corner from where we live. He was so proud of his investigating skills. He kept saying, "Ah, look at us investigating. Wow, we are such good investigators." Which we totally are, and he is. And it was so excited to see him having fun, you know, exploring the area. And it feels good to be caught up in the excitement of our curious nature, with so many new things to check out. We feel like kids and just like learning about the world again. And I feel like that's true of our whole lives. There is always something new to see or learn, and then seeing how we react to it. I think that is the equally important part that people forget. Yes, getting out of our comfort zones is good, seeing new things is good, and experiencing things, those are all good, but it's also super important to reflect on how that makes us feel and how we react to all of these new things. To me, it has been like sharpening a knife, you know, like every time you go across your honing tool, it is just like creating what that knife is, you know, it is defining its blade every time. And I feel every new thought or experience and what I do with it helps define who I am. By putting myself in all of these new situations, you know, I am seeing myself so much more clearly, and it is helping me move forward in a lot of different avenues of my life. To me, it's kind of like running through this world of colors, and then the only ones that stick to you are the ones that are meant for you. And you come to the end and you can just see your masterpiece exactly the way it was meant to be, and that's you. And as I'm like saying these words out loud, I hear myself repeating a lot of the things that I talk about in the Design Your Dream Home marketing, because it's the same concept. It's like, it's just exposing you to all of these new things and seeing what you like, how you react to things. I was just speaking with a realtor earlier today, and she was saying, you know, it's okay if you tell me if you don't like a house and that sort of thing, so that we can get on the same page. And it's like, yes, that's exactly it, because what you don't like tells you as much about what you do like as what you like. And I had to have that discussion with my father-in-law at one point. We were, you know, it's so fun. I remember it exactly. We were in a flooring showroom, and I had a bunch of well, first of all, if anyone's never worked with a family member to design their house, it is the hardest project you will ever do, maybe short of designing your own home. But we made it. The house turned out fabulous, but we had a lot of learning along the way. So I had a bunch of floors thrown out, and he was just like, no, I don't like that one. I don't like this one. I don't like any of them. Okay, well, that's fine. Like, he was afraid to offend me and say it, but when I was like, well, what do you mean? He got really defensive, and it was just like, no, I don't care that you don't like them. You're not hurting my feelings. These are not my floors. I didn't make these. I'm not attached to them in any way. I just need to know what you don't like about it so I can make my next round of selections, right? So same with life. Getting outside of our comfort zone, experiencing new things. We've had a lot of ups and downs, good and bad, misplaced expectations, but it's seeing what you like and what you don't like, and just learning so much more about yourself. And it's been really awesome to experience it for myself as much as I help my clients through it. So yeah, this journey has been really fun, super fun for me. I don't mind getting out of my comfort zone. I don't mind testing myself. I like a challenge. I like to push myself. So it's been a super cool challenge for me. But I mean, do not get me wrong when I say that there have been some super hard times, and this has not been an easy, I'd like to think I want to go back and say an easy 2 weeks or 1 month or 6 months. I'm not really quite even sure where I could put the deadline on where this process started to say, it's been hard 6 months, 1 year. I don't know. Everyone, we're all in the same boat. Life is hard right now, and that's just the way it is. And I don't want to ever come across like I know everything and that my life is super easy and you should do it this way too, because every life is hard. This process is hard. And that's just really what I want to clarify for people is it's not easy. Moving across the country, I don't think anyone ever thought it was, but it's not easy. Building a new house is not easy. Establishing your life is not easy, and you shouldn't expect it to be. It is going to be hard, and that is also part of the process. I think a lot of people miss that on the discussions when they're building their house. It's not HGTV, it's not before and after, it's a long, drawn out, hard process, and you hope that you love what you have when you're done. So hopefully it's worth it, right? But if you stay on point and always using your own priorities and your own self guiding you through this process, then hopefully you should get there at the end. So like I said, I have learned a little bit more about what we need in a space to feel at home. And, it's about what I thought it would be, but it was mainly, the basics. We had beds, more blankets than I was expecting to need, but that just makes you feel homey, and a pot, a pan, a few dishes, some silverware, bath towels, and a shower curtain. It was at that level that I started to feel at home. That's really all we needed. After that, it was just kind of fluff. And I said a TV, right? Because we needed the TV. Sometimes I think back about a lot of the stuff that we left. We certainly could use it here. But most of the time, I'm just wondering, is it weird that I really don't miss any of our stuff? My mom has asked a couple times, is there anything that you need me to send to you, that you forgot, that you missed? And there's not a very big list. There are creature comforts and things, but I can't necessarily say that it's worth sending from Iowa to me here. Life just moves on, and it's not about this stuff. One mistake that I did make, at the very end, I was packing our bags for the airport. Like, that's it. That's all I had left was what I could fit in my suitcase. I was running out of room. I was running out of energy. The kids were fighting me about stuff, and I left all the snow stuff behind because I thought to myself, it doesn't really snow that much here, and the kids are growing, so by the time we go to the mountains to have some snow fun, we might need new stuff anyway. Like, what's the point of hauling this all out there? My bags are full. I just couldn't think about it anymore, so I left all our snow stuff. And then I show up, and it's a blizzard, 2 weeks of a blizzard, and my kids are like, you said it wasn't going to snow here, and where's all of our snow stuff? Here we are from Iowa, super underprepared for snow. Like, it was super embarrassing and angry because everything we needed was sitting on the shoe shelf in Iowa, like wanting to be used, and we're here in Washington being like, God, I really wish I had my snow boots. So that is a bummer, but that's life, and it's not always about what happens, it's how we handle it. I can't exactly say that I handled it 100% correctly either, but we are moving on and we are moving forward, and that's what matters. So anyway, I am officially moved. I am getting settled in. Our desk showed up last week, and I'm ready. Showed up on Sunday. Put that together. I'm normally at my desk, but it's super loud in my office because the only thing in there is a desk. So that's why I'm coming at you from the bedroom. But I'm ready to get back to work, and you're going to start seeing a lot more of me in the near future. And I'm also looking for some one-on-one coaching clients to get myself back into the swing of things a little bit. And bonus points if you are a local client of anyone from the South Puget Sound area looking for some interior design advice or coaching. I have a few spots left open on my calendar, and I would love to fill them with some new local clients so I could get to know my community a little bit better. And you know what? It's been everything I hoped so far, which is awesome. Last week I finally got to shop around downtown on my own a little bit without kids and without a schedule, and just being able to window shop and pop in everywhere. The stores I wanted to check out were even better than I thought, and they were closer than I realized, which was super awesome. I thought I was gonna have to kind of bebop around all over downtown, and then I was at one store, and then I just started walking around the block, and then there was the next one I wanted, and then there was the next one, and then there was another cool one to check out. So super excited. That's totally my block. I will be there a lot. I still have a lot more to check out, but it's a good start so far. And this is a design blog, so I'm going to start talking about more how I get myself comfortable and familiar in an area and working with contractors and everything, because this is all new to me. So it's basically like I'm a new homeowner who's never done this process before. So that's kind of where I'm going with the podcast next, is how I start getting myself into the community, reaching out to who I'm talking to, realtors, building contractors, and kind of where I find the people that I'm looking for. One of the places I did go to already was a furniture consignment downtown, and I love a good furniture consignment store. Sometimes it's furniture stores that are, moving their pieces that they haven't sold. Sometimes it's people who just barely use their furniture. Like, I always think, people who have these amazing, beautiful, extravagant homes and furniture, and they're redecorating regularly, and where does their furniture go? Where do their old pieces go? That's where I want to shop. That's a thrift store I'm going to. So I find the best thrift stores in the best areas, the furniture consignment, I'm talking to the people, I'm getting my boots on the ground, and I'm figuring out my community, because that's how you find the deals and just the best localness. So this furniture consignment store I stopped into, very good. Misleading from the outside, as they usually are. Big warehouse. It was kind of, it's right next to a food bank, so it definitely has a lot of homeless people in the area, but that is life, and we're all surviving, and you can't always judge a place by what's around it. And if you want a deal, those are kind of places you have to go. I was a little surprised. I thought the couches and things were still a little expensive. You were looking at like $400 to $900 for a sofa that was basically brand new. They all looked very nice. I can't say there was actually a lot of used furniture there. But, that's a deal compared to a couple thousand that you would spend, but that's still kind of a lot of money. So I'm still looking a little bit. There was nothing there that really sold me yet. Their dining tables, I will say, were a better resource for dining tables, is maybe how I should say it. Really nice, heavy duty tables for like $50 to $70. They had some nice bar stools and dining room chairs. There was a set that was like a black leather, full back bar stool. It was really quite big. Maybe that's the problem. They're a little too big. But they were only $18 a chair, and I think they had 6 of them. So that's a pretty good deal. And if you had the right space, I would have snapped those up real quick. That's the kind of stuff I look for. I also went into like a children's hospital donation center thrift store, and as soon as I opened the door, it just hit me with that thrift store smell. And it is so good to know that they smell exactly the same in Iowa as they do here in Washington, just in case anyone was ever wondering. Thrift stores all smell the same. I don't know what it is. My husband says it's stale clothes and stale buildings. That's not how I see it at all. There is gold in there, and that's what I love about it. So anyway, walked through the thrift store. It was great. I love to listen to little old ladies behind the counter arguing with little old ladies who were shopping about what the discount is today, if they get the senior discount, and what's going on, the sales, if they can return things, like all the little haggling that happens at a thrift store over something that's like $2. I love it. It's my favorite. These are my people. Anyway, about the thrift store, why do I go there? Dishware. Thrift stores like that have great dishes, because people like dishes, people like glassware, but they don't really use it. So there's a lot of it at thrift stores. Fun glasses, beer glasses, margarita glasses, martinis, everything. All those particular things that only get used once. Those are the, like once every couple months or whatever. Those are the things that end up at the thrift store, and those are the best deals to find. I thought they were still a little expensive there. There was like a set of glasses that I thought about, and I think it was 8 of them. Maybe it was 6 of them for like $13. I mean, really, that's a good deal. That's a good price, but they weren't exactly perfect, and I am not settling this time around. I'm getting exactly what I want, and I have a really oddly specific vision in my mind for the type of glasses that I'm going to have, drinking glasses that we're going to have in this house. I don't know why. I keep seeing it when I close my eyes. I see this short little glass with wine in it that I use for everything, and that's what I'm looking for. Yes, I don't know. I see it in my mind, so I just know that that's what I gotta have. And I'm looking for it. I will find it. That's the fun. We got our necessities here, and now we can just kind of find what we want as we move forward. And that's the best way to do it. Not to have to feel like you're rushed and just getting what you can find, but to wait and get what you want. That's the phase I'm in. Yesterday, I did a tour of grocery stores. So that's now I'm in that phase of, first I just bought groceries, went to Target. We went to what Safeway was the closest grocery store at the time that I knew of. But actually, it is still the closest grocery store. But that's what you have to do when you get to your new community. You got to try things out. So I went on just a grocery store tour. I went to 6 different ones, from big box stores to little produce marts. And I think I found my go-tos. Now I know what each person, what each area is good for. This one had a really awesome bakery. This one probably had better prices, but not as much of a selection. There was a grocery mart, a produce mart that was awesome just down the street. It looks like a convenience store, but really it was just all local produce and stuff, cheeses. And I bought a bread dough or pizza dough and from a local, pizza place. And there was apples and, Washington, that's what we have here. So it was awesome. I loved it. So between that store, I think, and my big box store a little bit farther down, I got everything I need. And that just feels awesome. Like I'm already starting to feel comfortable and at home here. It's a lot of fun just going through this process. I love doing it. There have definitely been disappointments. Don't get me wrong about that. Like I went to 6 different grocery stores. I didn't love them all. I walked out. I didn't know Fred Meyer. That's new for me. Didn't know about that. I didn't know that was so big. I walked in and I was like, I thought this was a grocery store because I walked in on the clothing side. Well, it is not just a grocery store, very big. I went to Fred Meyer, I went to Albertsons, I went to Safeway, I went to Hagen's and Trader Joe's and the Produce Mart and Organic Food Co-op ones and a couple others. So I guess actually I did more than 6. I probably did about 10. It was a big day and it was very informative, would be the word. I now know where I like to go. Some places are kind of the same, doesn't really matter. So that's what it is. That's getting to know your area. So yeah, it's been a process. It does feel like work. There's no doubt about that, but in the best kind of way. We've been on an uphill battle towards the life that we want to live, but I feel like we're getting there and I feel like we're going in the right direction. And that's what I'm looking for my clients too. So it's good to experience this for myself, to know exactly what my clients are going through as you move through this process towards building the home that you want, living the life that you want. We're all working towards the life that we want, and it's awesome. It's a lot of work. But when you get what you want and it's everything that you hoped it would be, it's totally worth it. Again, this was more of an update on our journey and general direction of Bee Design. Next week, we're going to be getting back into more learning about interior design and construction and the process, and what it takes to build a dream home. Maybe I'll even get Bjorn back on here because he's around now too. We'll see. But I'm really excited to get back to our regular podcasting. This has been an update on me and our lives and our move to Washington. And now we're going to get back to some serious design work.